China analyst Einar Tangen, who joins us now live from Beijing. Great to have you on the program. Einar, the US president, he claims that he's seen evidence linking the coronavirus to a lab in Wuhan, even though I must add that his intelligence community have not reached that conclusion. How do you expect China to react to this?
Well, China has already reacted, and they discount it completely. Remember, Donald Trump was he also had evidence that putting bleach in your body, which was from a evangelical pastor in Florida, not from a medical person. There is always a question about exactly where Donald Trump is getting, quote, his evidence. And given the fact that a few hours earlier, the intelligence community in the U.S. had said that they believe the overwhelming evidence that's provided by the scientific community as to this being not a man-made virus. In terms of its origin, that is still open. They're still trying to find more evidence. I think the scientific community is doing the same. But this idea that somehow is manufactured and sent out by China is kind of fallacious.
And you said the look into the origin is still open. Will there be an investigation into the origin of the virus by Chinese authorities themselves? Because international pressure, as we've seen over the past weeks, is growing.
Well, China has. They've done a lot of work on this. Unfortunately, they handicapped themselves when somebody from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that perhaps this was brought in by the U.S. They didn't provide any specifics. And this has kind of opened the door to counter theories about its origin. But from the U.S. side, it's interesting. I mean, Donald Trump went out of his way to discount the very organization, which would be the only one capable, the WHO, of actually handling some sort of investigation. And he has discredited them. He's called them the PR agency for China. It's not clear what they would gain from that. And also remember that this the lab in Wuhan was not just a Chinese lab. It was a joint venture between the French and the Chinese, and French doctors were there. So they would have to be somehow complicit in this if, in fact, this facility was doing this kind of research. The French, by the way, have put out a categorical report denying that that they were doing this kind of research there, or that this somehow, quote, escaped.
And I just want to go back to one of the comments you made. You said China handicapped themselves by their reaction. What did you mean by that?
Well, there was a spokesman for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who suggested that this virus came from the U.S., but he didn't provide any kind of real, proof. And so as a result, other countries have put forward their, quote, ideas about where it goes. And when you get this kind of, these different spokesmen saying these types of things, it does not help the situation. It just invites more speculation by other sides. So I don't think that that was the finest hour for this young man. At this point, it should be left to the scientists. And unfortunately, I don't know that Donald Trump would agree that the WHO, which is staffed mainly over 50% by American scientists and citizens, to be the arbiter of where this actually came from. He's not very fond of science or big briefings. He prefers to get his ideas mostly from the television.
Einar Tangen, China analyst, live for us there in Beijing. Really appreciate speaking to you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.